Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the Dread FX Custom Infinity. It's a bit of a demon for detail. Now the Infinity's been around for quite a while. I'll pop a picture of the original in the screen now. So that's the original Infinity. They came out years ago and then they've done another version which is the CR Plus, which is a better coating on the bodies, because the bodies on the older ones, and I did have an older one, they sort of like deteriorated and sort of tarnished after quite a bit of time with solvents and things like that. So they brought out the CR Plus, which is a better body. Now I've got a pimped Infinity, and a lot of the Infinities that were around, people were putting up comments that the trigger response was bad. Now I've sorted the trigger response out, so the brush is absolutely on point. There is a video on the channel how you can sort your Infinity out. Now if you're looking on Facebook sales and things like that, everybody's been getting rid of these brushes because of the poor trigger response. Now it's the time to pick one up, because you can get them cheap, guys. And if you do the hack that I've done, I'll show you my custom version in a minute, but I'll put it up against my Evolution Rainbow Edition that I've done, which is another custom brush which I've done, and I've changed the needle and nozzle setup to the V2 0.15 Infinity setup. So it's basically an Infinity. Now when I looked at both front ends of these brushes and looked at the needles, I've seen a difference from my Infinity that I've sort of pimped. I'll tell you the things that I've done to that in a minute, and the Evolution with the new Infinity front setup. I looked at the needles, and between the two, my one, the needle exposes more to the front, and the new one sits further back in the body. And I was just doing a little spray out with some water against some black card as a background, and the one with the needle that exposes out more at the front puts a finer spray out than the one with the V2 needle. When I sprayed that, it's more of a sort of a blown out pattern. So that's why this thing is a demon for detail. So I'll show you the brush. We've done some mods to it. We've got a polished rear to this now. We've got a new trigger, so it's a better, more comfortable trigger top. We've got the hack to the inside, which has been done. And I have took this piece out, took all the front end out, and I have polished all inside here, all inside the reservoir where the paint goes in there, and I've even polished inside all the nozzle, just left it polishing and polishing. So all inside the nozzle's polished. Now I've got the original 0.15 brass nozzle in here, and when you look at the new ones, they look like stainless. They're more shiny. Now that is why, that is the new Infinity front end on my Rainbow Edition Evolution, which is a 0.15, and the actual needle exposure is minimal. But when you put the V2 needle in the old 0.15 nozzle, you get more needle exposure out the front. And that's what makes this brush more of a beast for detail, because you are getting, it just seems to fine spray the paint a lot better. So what we'll do is we'll hook these up. I'll hold this against some card. I'll get the camera as close as I can, and you'll see the spray difference between the two. So this would be your basically Infinity that you would buy now, because this is an Infinity front end with the 0.15. So you'll see the spray pattern on that, and then you will see the custom version that I've done here and how much finer this sprays. Right guys, so we've got my Rainbow Edition one here. Now this is the Infinity setup that you would get in your Infinity that you buy today. Now hopefully this picks it up. You'll see the spray pattern. We're running at 20 psi, and this is water coming out of here. And hopefully that's picking that up. It's probably hard to see. But you can see the mist coming out of there on full trigger. Now when we put this one in, you'll see the difference on the spray. You're getting full open right over here, this side, and you're getting a lot finer to about here, and then it opens fully out when it comes back here. It's a lot finer fan pattern. It's a lot more closed in when you spray. It's a really hard sort of thing to pick up and see when you're on camera, but I can see it a lot clearer because I can sort of move around to the light that's coming in. But it just seems like this one on the 0.15 with the new needle and nozzle just seems like it opens out more sort of here. When it's on sort of full trigger, you're getting your full fan pattern sort of here, and then when you open this one up on full fan, it seems to taper out a lot more, and it's opening sort of here a lot further away, so you're getting a lot tighter sort of fan pattern here. So that's why this one just seems a lot better on details, and I've noticed that when I've been painting with this on the channel on projects, it seems like it just hits the detail really a lot quicker when you're painting. So what we'll do is we'll chuck some paint in these, we'll give them a little blast, because I've not tried this one yet, the new setup in this one. So we'll just try a little bit of paint in this. And because this brush has got the hack on as well, I've done the hack to the evolution. The trigger response on this, that noise is, I've got a little bit of lubrication that's gone down where the air is at the bottom, so it's making a little noise. But this thing is absolutely on point now for trigger response, guys. So super down, really nice on tight details. This is hairlines, atomizes really nice. So this is the standard 0.15mm needle nozzle setup, but this brush has got the hack on it as well, and it's made this evolution so much better. It really has. The only thing I don't like about this are these half moon trigger tops that you get on the Infinities. This is the standard one on the actual evolution, and I don't like these. They're just uncomfortable after a while on using them. So that's that one. Now we'll move on to this one. Just clear this water out. See what I mean? You're straight in on the tiniest of movement with this one, and you're in on detail straight away. And I mean hairline, to the point where you've got a transparent line because it's putting that much minimal paint out. It just hits it even better than the 0.15 setup in this, and you've got more needle exposure out the front and less needle exposure on this. So I think that is why it's doing it on this, guys, because it's just, you can just hit it so easy, how clean that is going down. And they're the same needles, the V2s, but this just gets down a lot tighter and quicker to do it as well. It just hits it straight away. And I noticed this when I was doing portraits and things with this. It's just instantly clean, tight lines with this brush, and it's just minimal down on the actual paint. I'm trying my hardest to absolutely just touch that trigger, and this thing puts it straight down. It gives you that absolute minimal paint that you're after. Atomises really well. So a very nice brush now, guys, this one, the Custom Infinity that I've done. It works really nice, comfortable trigger top to the top, nice highly polished aluminium back instead of the red, and we've got the better needle set up with the nozzle on this, and it just instantly, I mean, they are lovely little dagger stroke down to an absolute, that's not even picking that up, but that feathers out to nothing on the tip of that. It really does. I don't think you will get a brush to touch this on how fine it can go. And clean. And this is opaque in here. That is absolutely super fine on that, guys. It really is. And you are barely touching that trigger. How clean that line is. Full coverage on the line, no breakups. Consistent. Really, really nice brush now this is. So that's why I say it's a bit of a demon for the detail. I'd say this is the best detail brush that I've got. This eats the Micron on how it puts it down now. The Micron puts the paint down nice and soft with a brilliant trigger. This has got a brilliant trigger with excellent trigger response now. And with this, the older 0.15 nozzle, which is the brass one with the V2 needle, drop that in, you get more exposure out the front of your brush with your needle, and it just puts it down even tighter on the actual details, guys. This, you will get these like this, as I've shown you on this little demo here with the standard one. That does it a lot easier. It really does. So I hope you've enjoyed this little video on sort of an update on the Infinity. Absolute brilliant brush, love it now. So don't get rid of the Infinities, guys, keep hold of them, because you just do the hack to it. It's on the channel, put a new trigger top on it, nice and easy, and you can get yourself a nice detail brush again. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.